Okay, so here we go. This week we're going to be counting down our favorite anime series from 5 to number 1 and explaining why each of our other titles on our 5 list doesn't quite match up to number 1. At number 5 on the list is Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann is a fantastic series, and the one thing that I absolutely adore about this series is the emotions that run through it. I cried so much during this series, whether it be from amusement, happiness, or sadness. This series kind of brings you through a roller coaster of emotion, and as you might tell from my top 5, that is exactly what I look for in an anime. An anime that won't just be this cool adventure or this awesome, fighting anime or romance or something, just something that kind of pulls everything together, everything that I like, and puts it all into one series and makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you want to throw things at the screen, just brings out passion in you. And that is one thing that this series has always done for me. The reason it's not number 1 is simply that out of all the other animes on this list, it is probably the most generic shonen on the list. But it's such a great series, and I don't want to say anything negative about it because it is an amazing, amazing, amazing series. But I think the reason it just has to stay at number 5 for right now is because it's just too generic of a shonen. That whole notion of this little kid who really can't be a hero has to learn how to be a hero. And I think that just using that, I don't know, it's just too generic. And I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But that's why it's not number 1. Number 4 on my list is Trigun. Trigun has been one of my favorite animes for a very long time. It used to be number 1 for a while, but it slowly has lost its luster for me. And I can't explain why this one isn't number 1 without putting up a spoiler tag. So I'm sorry to those of you who haven't seen it and don't want to watch a spoiler. Just mute for right now. Trigun is not my favorite anime specifically because of the end. Now, while I love the series and think that its execution was amazing from start to finish, I think that the humor from the beginning really drives you into the series, and then once they have you captive in their humor, then they kind of take the reins and send you on wild emotions. So while its execution was flawless, its ending left me wanting something different. Not even more, just something different. And while I was so excited to find out that there was going to be a movie, then I find out that the movie really doesn't continue the story. It's kind of a bummer. It's kind of just this non-canon what happened in the process of the series. And I haven't seen it, so I really can't say anything, but I refuse to see it because they're recasting Wolfwood, which I'm not going to watch. Anyway, yeah, so it's not my favorite because of the end. I just wish that they would have given you a better ending than just Vash throwing knives over his shoulder and walking off into the sunset. And while I get the end, while I understand it, doesn't mean I have to like it. So it just didn't do it for me. Number 3 on my list is Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing kind of goes everywhere on my list. It was at number 1 for a while, then it was at number 2 for a while, then it was at number 5 for a while, then number 4, then number 5, then number 4 when I couldn't decide on what I liked better, Double O or Wing. But it's always remained on my top 5. Why this is not my favorite series, I want to say, is while I really love the political stuff, the first season really kind of bores me. Gundam is notorious for using season 1 as kind of this build-up into their world. This is what our world's about. This is what we are about. This is our characters. These are, the problems our characters get into. These are the relationships for our characters. And it just, Gundam Wing, while it's wonderful, sort of misses a beat every now and then and bores me in season 1. Season 2, however, I absolutely adore. From the 0 episodes, which is the end of season 1, all the way to the end of Endless Waltz, I am never bored. I am always at the edge of my seat because in season 2 of a Gundam series, generally that's where everything kind of explodes into emotion, and that is exactly what happens here. They use the end of season 1 to really kind of explode and create this epic series that is just so amazing and you can't stop watching. But I think just the fact that the beginning is a little drier, it has to stay at number 3. So I love you, Gundam Wing. You're what got me into anime, but you're just not going to be number 1 ever again. Number 2 on my list is Death Note. This was my favorite anime for the longest time until 00 took over, and I can't say why this is not my favorite anime series. I think just because I like 00 a little bit more, I think the emotions in 00 might have just attacked me harder. I don't know. This series is so flawlessly phenomenal. I think the one thing that kind of sets this apart from Gundam 00 might be the fact that I like all the characters in Gundam 00. In all the previous series, there are characters in them that I hate. I cannot stand. And in this one, there just happens to be a lot of those. Aizawa is really, he bugs me a lot. I don't know, I think he's got some really funny scenes, but he's really just kind of this nothing character that just bugs me. And of course, my 2 least favorite characters of all time in the series are Misa and Rem. Misa just bugs the crap out of me. And her character, Shannon Chan Kent, who plays Misa, her character in Gundam 00, doesn't bother me, but only bugs me because she sounds like Misa. And Misa seriously just bugs the crap out of me. And then the L fangirls that followed this series. I think the fandom is kind of what ruined the series for me. The L fangirls just really bug me. And so it's number 2. While this sends me on wild emotions, it's just gonna end up being at number 2. But I love you. Yes, I do. I want to watch it. I think I'll do that. And you guys should all know what my number 1 is by now because we talked about it last week. Gundam 00. This is my favorite anime series because it is nothing but emotion. Remember when I talked about Gundam Wing and I said that the first season is always kind of a build-up and then season 2 is where all the emotion happens? While that's true for Gundam 00, it's also true for Gundam 00 that they include the emotions in the beginning as well, because they have given all of the characters such pasts and such horrible experiences that give them a reason to fight, that even when you're learning about the characters' past and even when you're learning about the characters' personalities themselves, you're still given this immense emotion that is just so phenomenal, and I love it. And like I said, when I watch anime, I'm looking for emotional series. I look for series that are going to make me cry, make me laugh, make me want to throw things at the TV, make me want to scream, just bring out some sort of passion in me. And this series brings out incredible passion, and I love it. And it's an amazing, amazing, amazing series. All of the series that I talked about are available legally online, and I will leave links to every single one of them. Some of them are dubbed, some of them are subbed. So if you guys are all interested in watching those series, check the links below and check them all out because they are all amazing. And Sega Kid, we will see you tomorrow.